Welcome students to the online study. Today we will see the explanation of lesson number 2, The Thief's Story, written by Ruskin Bond. See the details about the writer. Ruskin Bond was a famous Indian writer, born on 19th May 1934. He shifted to Dehradun after the death of his father and continued to live with his grandmother. Then he moved to London, where he started to write his first novel, The Room on the Roof. Now, Ruskin Bond is recognized as leading English writer for his short stories, compositions and novels. Let's have a look on the theme of this story. This lesson, The Thief's Story, basically have the theme of human values, moral values, and the importance of relationship. Ruskin Bond well portrayed the importance of human values and relationship through the medium of a criminal in this lesson. The character of this lesson, Harassing, who was a thief. He stolen the money from Anil Singh, and then he was guilt stricken. He was regretful for his crime. How hard was for him to take that money and flee from Anil. But he was convicted. He was guilt stricken. Then he again put back that money to Anil. He returned that money to Anil. This was how he understood the importance of human values and relationship. There are two characters in this story. First is the Harassing, who is the narrator of this lesson, who is just mere 15-year-old boy, yet a criminal, a thief, who steal money and valuable things from the people, who change his identity each month so that he may not be arrested by the police. Such a clever thief. The second is Anil, a 25-year-old young man, a tall and simple-minded young man, and he is easygoing and kind person. Let's begin with the explanation. The scene starts with the meeting of Harassing with Anil. As I told you that Harassing is just mere 15-year-old, a very successful and experienced criminal or thief. He had stolen a lot of things from the people and knew the art of stealing and changing his identity. He met Anil Singh. Now Anil Singh is very simple-minded, easygoing, kind-hearted young man of 25. Harassing, the narrator, he was looking for such a guy whom he could steal, whom he could make a victim of his crime. So he thought to find out such a person who could be easygoing, kind and simple enough. So once Harassing and Anil, they met each other. And Harassing recognized that Anil is simple-minded, easygoing and kind-hearted person, it is easy for him to bring him under confidence, to convince him or to take him in his confidence. So the meeting is proceeded. The thief hadn't much luck of late. He wanted to win Anil's confidence. He wanted to win the confidence of Anil. The narrator took a new name every month. Harassing. He changed his identity. He changed his name every month so that he may not get arrested by the police. He did so to avoid the arrest from the police and his former employees. He introduced to Anil in the name of Harassing. The narrator introduced himself as Harassing. The narrator wanted to work for Anil. He wanted to win the confidence of Anil, so he wanted to work with Anil. But Anil was not a rich man. He couldn't pay him. The narrator thought for a moment that he has misjudged his target. For the narrator, Harassing, Anil Singh was a target from whom he can steal something. But when he realized that this Anil is not a rich person, so for a moment he thought that he could have misjudged his target. Anil asked Harassing, the thief, he could cook or not. In fact, this Harassing wanted to work with Anil. So he offered an opportunity, or he asked Anil that he want to work with Anil. He want to work with him. So is there any work? So Anil asked him whether he could cook or not. Harassing lied that he could. The food he cooked on that day was just terrible. Now after this conversation, they have gone into the house of Anil Singh, both of them. Now this Harassing, he lied to Anil that he can cook in a proper way. So on that day, Harassing cooked the food. But when Anil ate that food, it was tasteless, it was very terrible food. Anil had to give it to a stray dog. He could not eat that food which was prepared by Harassing, so he had given them to the stray dogs. Anil asked him to go away, but the narrator didn't budge from there. After that, Anil knew that he is not a good cook, so he said that he can leave him, but still the narrator is not going to leave him. At last, Anil agreed to teach him cooking. At the last, Anil agreed that he will teach Harassing cooking food. Anil also taught Harassing, the thief, to write his name, to write the whole sentence, and to add numbers. Now, Anil not only intended to teach him cooking, but he thought to teach Harassing how to write his name, how to write the whole sentence, or how to add numbers. So he is teaching Harassing the basic things by which he can get educated, or he can get some kind of knowledge and understanding. Harassing was also excited. It's because he was illiterate. He was uneducated from his childhood. He had never been to the school. No one has ever taught him anything. So he was excited. He was willing to learn everything that Anil taught him. So he interestingly took participation in learning the things taught by Anil Singh. Harassing wanted to be educated. He was grateful towards Anil. At least Anil had given him the basic education. He was grateful, he was thankful for Anil, who is trying to educate him and give him the basic education. For he knew that once he could read and write like an educated man. For Harassing, he knew that once if he will be able to read and write like other people, then there would be no limit of what he could achieve in his life. That means till now he was uneducated, till now he don't know how to read and write, he don't know the basic educational concepts. But if Anil Singh would make him an educated person, then there will be no limit what he could achieve. That means he can do much more great things if he is educated. Harassing found it quite pleasant to work with Anil. So this was how the life of Anil Singh and Harassing went on. Each day Anil would teach him to cook food. Each day Anil would teach him the basics of reading and writing and to add or subtract numbers. He was given the mathematical teachings as well. He made tea in the morning. He made a profit of 1 rupee from buying the day's supply. Not only that, Harassing was kept in charge of the grocery things or the things that is brought from the market. He would give him money to buy something from the market. So Hari would go and get that thing or buy that thing from the market. Even in that buying, he would make the profit of 1 or 2 rupees. Anil knew everything about Harassing's stealing. It was the character, it was the attitude of Harassing that he stole money from the supplies. He stole money from the things that he brought from the market. He saved money, and in this way he cheated Anil. But Anil, even though he is a simple-minded person, he is a kind-hearted person, he knew everything about Harassing, what he did, how he cheated him for 1 or 2 rupees. But he didn't seem to mind the work of Hari. He did not mind whether he is saving 1 or 2 rupee from the supplies. He was not mindful to the little stealing, small stealings done by Harassing. Anil is a writer who writes for magazine. He prepares and writes the content for the magazines and makes money in fits and starts. He is very trusting person. Even when he earns a large amount of money, he keeps the money under his mattress. not in a safe box. Anil is generous enough to pay Hari a certain portion of the money which Hari tried to steal from him earlier. He has a forgiving nature and forgiving attitude. He works for a magazine and thus earn money. Whenever he get money or salary, he would go with Anil and celebrate it with Anil. Then he would wait and worry about his next salary or next check. One evening, Anil came home with a small bundle of notes. He had just sold a book to a publisher. At night, Harassing saw him tuck the money under his mattress. Anil had given him a key to the door and he could come and go as he pleased. Anil was the most trusting person he had ever met. It was very difficult to rob him. Sometimes he didn't notice that he had been robbed. This was the attitude of Anil. It took all the pleasure out of Harassing's work. Once Anil was sleeping, Harassing thought over the situation. If he stole the money, he could catch the train on 10:30 and he will go to Lucknow. He crept up to the bed and slid his hand under the mattress. Anil is sleeping. Harassing had seen him hiding the money or putting the money under his mattress. Suddenly, a thought came into the mind of Harassing that if he will be able to get the money that is kept under the mattress of Anil, he will be able to slip away from this place. He will be able to catch the train that is on 10:30 and thus he will escape to Lucknow. He crept upon his bed and now the plan which he had made, he wanted to execute. He put his hand under the mattress. He found the notes and drew them out and sighed in his sleep. He turned his side towards Harassing. As he put his hands under the mattress, that moment Anil turned towards Harassing, but he was still sleeping. The thief Harassing was startled and quickly came out of the room taking the money. Somehow he was able to get the money which was kept under the mattress. He took that money. He came out of the room. On the road, he counted them. He did not stop there in the room to count that money. What if Anil would get up and catch him red-handed? So he came into the street. He came on the road where he counted the money, and to his surprise, it was 650 rupees. 600 rupees in 50 notes denomination. Now with that money, he could live like a rich Arab for a week or two. Now he thought that 600 rupees, the one who steals 1 or 2 rupees, 10 or 50 rupees or 100 rupees, for him this 600 rupees worth very much. So he thought that with this 600 rupees, he can lead a life just like a rich Arab, just like a boss. He can spend his life with this 600 rupees, or it will be helpful for him to just live like a rich person, just maybe for a week or more than a week. Stealing the money, Harassing, he had gone to the railway station. The narrator, he reached the railway station, dashed straight to the platform. The Lucknow Express was just moving. He could jump in, but hesitated. He was not able to climb into the moving train. Why? It's because something prevented him. He could have jumped in, but something stopped himself. Thus, he did not climb into the moving train. When the train had gone, he had no idea where to spend the night. He wanted to catch the train, as he made the plan to steal the money and catch the train to Lucknow. He came into the platform. He got a chance to catch the train. Even in fact, he was just about to climb on the train, enter into the train, but something prevented him. Something hindered him. Thus, he did not climb on the moving train. Now the train has gone. Now the train has moved out of the platform. Harassing, still shocked, still wondering and confused what to do, where to leave, since the train is missed, or since he did not climb into the train, he did not enter into the train, where he will go. There were no friends of Harassing in that place. No one he could know and who could shelter him for that night. And he did not want to stay in the hotels as well. It's because he knew that he had stolen the money. He knew that he had cheated Ali and robbed Ali. He came to the Maidan, to the ground, and there was a bench in that ground. He sat on that bench. In fact, the night was very chilly and rainy night. He sat on the bench with that money in his hand, could not know why he could not get in the train. He did not know why he was not able to enter into the train when it was still in his hand and strength to enter into the train. It was possible for him to catch the train, but he did not enter into that train. He did not catch that train. He was perplexed, bewildered, confused. What was happening to him? He sat on the bench. He took that notes, 600 rupee notes. They were also damp from the rain. It was wet by the rain. He was sitting there, confused, where to go. He had no friends in that city, in that place, nor anyone knows him except Anil. But now he had cheated him, robbed him, so he could not go back to him because of being arrested. Because of the fear of being arrested, he could not go back to him. Now, what to do? Where to spend the night? He was thinking, sitting on the bench. Harassing remembered that he had forgotten about his education in the excitement of stealing 600 rupees. But for a moment, he thought that by getting education, being an educated person, one can earn more money than this. In other words, he is thinking that if he becomes an educated person, he can earn more than these 600 rupees that were stolen from Anil. And it makes him a big man, a clever and respected man as well. If he is educated, not only he will be able to earn more, he will be a big man. That means he will be a famous man. He will be a successful man. Moreover, he will be clever. He will be all understanding. He will be a person of knowledge. He will be a person of wisdom. He will be a knowledgeable person, and he will gain respect if he is educated. So this thought that came into his mind. He was to learn reading and writing. He was to be educated man. Then he thought to return to Anil. He thought that he would not go anywhere because Anil would teach him and make him an educated person. So he wished to go back to Anil. He made a plan to go back to Anil just to become an educated person, just to learn something, just to have the knowledge and understanding. So for the sake of getting education, he planned to go back to Anil. And he have decided he will go back to Anil. When he came back to the house of Anil, Anil was still asleep. He was still sleeping on his mattress. But this time, Harassing was feeling nervous. He was worried. He was afraid that if Anil would have discovered that Harassing had cheated him, robbed him and taken his money. But nothing like that happened. When he came into the room, Anil was still sleeping. He put back that money under the mattress again. Then he crept on his bed. He slept. Now on the next morning, when he got up, when Anil got up, he stretched out his hands towards the narrator. There was a 50 rupee note between his fingers. Harassing, he was so guilt-stricken. He was so regretting, and his heart wrenched for a moment. He thought that he had been discovered. Anil made an announcement. He told Harassing that he made some money and Hari would be paid regularly. See here, Hari thought that he would have been discovered by Anil. But Anil, he given him 50 rupees and promised him that he will be paid for his service regularly. He also told that he would teach Harassing how to write sentences. Anil knew everything about the theft. Anil knew that he had stolen his money from under the mattress. But neither his lips nor his eyes showed anything. He did not disclose the fact to Harassing that he knew that last night his money was stolen by Harassing, and Harassing again came back, put those money under the mattress. Why? How he discovered that his money was stolen? You remember when Harassing was sitting on the bench, it was raining, and the 600 rupee notes that he had, it was drenched, it was wet due to raining. Now when he put that money under the mattress, it still had the moisture, it still had the wetness in them. By this, Anil realized that someone had taken this money from under the mattress, but he knew that it was Hari. So he had given him the 50 rupee note as a salary for his service. Moreover, he promises Hari that he will teach him more things. He will teach him how to write sentences. So this was how a criminal or thief like Harassing was transformed. This was how his conscience was awakened and his moral was uplifted, and he left the work of cheating and robbing others. He accepted his guilt and he left his stealing habits. He accepted the values of humanity. He was not able to cheat Anil, who was so caring, who was so simple, who was so simple-minded and kind-hearted. This attribute of Anil, however, inflicted change in a thief like Harassing.